Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Kissy. So I wanted to come real quick here and talk about a message that came through. I'm just gonna zoom in here. All right. So it seems that I'm just gonna say it the way it actually came through. It would seem that these masculines are working as a team, right? Like they're all somehow connected. These masculines that you're aware of in your experience, divine feminine, whether it comes through your but I'm saying since meeting your divine masculine, it's like a conspiracy from the masculine energy. Like they're all somehow in on a big secret that you're not a part of. And it feels like they're working as a team to somehow keep you in the dark of what's behind the veil of the male consciousness or something weird like that. And what I'm realizing is that I guess as we expand our consciousness and as we make our connections neurologically or whatever it is, like the web we weave, and as a species interconnected with everyone that we're connected with, we somehow can, we put those pieces together, like our experiences kind of co-mingle and coexist. And even if it's not directly related to those individuals, there's like those links, however they connect, are connecting to make your story broader, the story of your understanding, the things that you were not aware of in your surroundings, with the people around you, things that culminate into the larger picture of the story of you. It is, you were kind of like cultivating that world for yourself as those pieces were coming together, integrating all those like unsolved mysteries within your own mind, and then like connecting, you're connecting with this one person here, and something that they say clicks and triggers a understanding of someone else or something else, and answers a question in another direction. But little by little, questions get answered, and it looks like a conspiracy initially, and it looks like they're actually in the physical collaborating, commingling, entertaining one another somehow in, at your expense. It would look that way in the physical world. Like, how do they even know each other? Like, and that's where you get all these stories about like the FBI and all these getting tapped into our phones and all the occult, the spells. And these are not physical, actual realities of people actually working together as a team in reality necessarily. Not to say that it's not, that it doesn't occur in certain instances, but when we're doing like a collective understanding of the energies of the divine feminine and divine masculine, it's an automated duality that's in there that creates like, excuse the noise in the background, it creates like a rhythm, a tone, a sound, a pitch, an expression that everyone that taps in can resonate into. So it would seem that the divine feminine, when she taps into her high priestess energy, that she dives so deep into the soul of herself to discover the mysteries, it's by observing the world around and making the connections with what's being emanated from within towards the surface, so that she can express it in her own poetry, in her own language, in her own tone and vibration. So we can, depending on how we see that, depending on how we see this masculine energy, the world around us, and how we put those pieces together will determine the story that we're creating collectively. And the higher the consciousness, meaning the higher the vibration, the more in the love energy that we can be, the more beautiful the story can be. Even out of, it's like making the pain into a poetry, literally with your life in some ways, okay? Like creating a very beautiful story out of your life. It doesn't matter. You're not like, this is my goal today and next week and this is how. No, you're flowing with life, and you're allowing the world to kind of like guide you, influence you, move you in the direction of your highest calling. And when you allow yourself to be in that space, when you allow yourself to be open in that space, that you feel secure and protected, and knowing that there is no force in that world out there. Okay, a lot of laughter in the background. There is no force out there that is your enemy until, or not until, but there is no enemy unless you create one. So don't create the enemy, right? Don't tell the story of the enemy. And if you have a adversary, or you have a conflict that has yet to be resolved, get creative, get excited, get curious. How can I do something so wildly different? Like, enjoy the process of responding differently in a way that is like challenge life in a fun way. Like, yes, like the scene from The Count of Monte Cristo, the toast to Robert for his bravery. The Count says, and he said, oh, what were those famous words that he said that I love so much? Do your worst. So it's like you face the conflict, or you do your worst. Like, in the face of that, face that fear with like that, become in that moment the hero of your own story. And it's like, yes, do your worst. Like, I'm going to have the courage here to not allow this. Like, no, I'm going to be I'm just going to speak my truth, and I'm not going to let you move me emotionally. I'm not going to let you move me in terms of my direction, or try to paint. Like, no, you're not going to create a painting over me, a narrative over me, a influence over me. You're not going to throw dirt on my name and it's going to just stay like that. No, you're not even going to get the opportunity to do so, because there's like this ability now to like keep it at bay in such a way that before it reaches you, it's already molded into something beautiful for you. So the storyline changes, and it becomes a benefit to the world, to yourself, as within, so without. So appreciate the moments that you have, even in adversities, I guess you can say. I know it's not easy to not fall into those pitfalls, I guess you can say. But do your best not to create the same narrative. Like, you see, this is exactly why I blah, 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 or think in the way of, in that way that confirms your fear. You know what I mean? Like, don't let your fear be confirmed. Challenge the fear and redirect it. Challenge the fear and recreate it. Take that energy and play with it like it was freaking Play-Doh, or you know, that kinetic sand. Play with it, feel it, and do whatever you want with it, and create that beautiful story, the outcome that serves you best, the outcome that serves your highest good, the highest good that you can conceive of, because everyone can agree we would love a world where everyone is happy. Everyone would agree that we would love a world where everyone feels loved, safe, secure, and beautiful, and wonderful, and successful, and living in bliss, and living in those are the things that we would love for ourselves constantly, always, forever, and that we would love for everyone around us. Because I wouldn't want my enemy to be unhappy. If my supposed enemy or someone on the other side of the land is my enemy, then I cannot be at peace. Why couldn't I be at peace? Because if I have an enemy out there, I'm constantly having to stay vigilant of there's an enemy out there. So once I realize I don't have an enemy out there, because not because I'm naive and ignorant and not, no, but because I am in charge of my space. And if I have plenty and I can create around me a reality that is abundant, beautiful, flowing, and loving and graceful, I can bestow that same energy to my neighbor who is not my enemy. And my enemy is appeased. But the moment my enemy is, or I keep saying that, but that's not how I mean it, but it's how society wants to paint it, like the other is the enemy. But the moment that person is unhappy, what do you think the first thing they're going to do? They're going to infringe upon my freedom, my space, my time, my energy. They're going to demand of me in some way. So I don't like making enemies. I don't need to make enemies. There's no point in making enemies. So why do that? Embrace, work together in harmony. And in the same way that we apply that in real life, we apply that within our own self, with our own thoughts, because our own thoughts become our own enemies sometimes when we don't realize that we're falling into a pattern of negative thinking. That's going against yourself, idea, or when you surmise after an experience or a dynamic, like something went wrong, and the first thing you say to yourself is like, what did I do wrong? Like automatically blame yourself, automatically think that you somehow are not whole or not good enough or not, you know what I mean? Like those types of things will play out in your life, and you create experiences, you create a dark world to live in, and nobody wants to live in a world that is where we have, like, it makes no point in living in a reality that tells a story so grim, so ugly, so unhappy. It's a miserable reality to live in. So why entertain those realities? When we hear what comes out of people's mouths, and we hear the ideas that they entertain on a daily, if they're, it's like, look at everyone like a television set. Everyone is a TV show. Everyone is a movie. So is this person a movie of drama? Is this a movie of comedy? Is this a movie of, you know what I mean? Like you have all romance. Like, however, everyone is like a movie. They don't just have one channel. They have a ton of channels. And through that, I mean, some channels are just the, what do you call that? The white snow or whatever they call it. What do they call that? You know what I mean, right? But other than that, what I'm trying to explain to you or express to you is that we can get caught up in this reality, like this whole conspiracy theory of what, you know, because it does feel like that. You could feel the connection of the masculine energy and how they interact and how they intertwine and how they, you know, oppose one another, and it plays out in the physical reality. So it's like watching, you know, like when you see the sky and you see all those lines from, what do they do? What are the fertilizer and all that other stuff that people talk about in the sky, the lines. Like it looks like that, like a big old web. And that's how our connections are with people. And I think that the more we open our consciousness, or the more our you know, crown chakra opens, the more connections we can make in our own reality, and we have the freedom to create a beautiful, abundantly full, and great life. but we have to be willing to face those challenges to our sovereignty. In other words, people trying to create an experience for us that we don't want to subscribe to, or create a dynamic for us that we're no longer inspired by, or create a vibration in your day-to-day body experience that's in constant anxiety, fear, or some kind of negativity. Like those things, the more we realize those things are not normal, the more we embrace our own ability to enjoy our health, our healing process. You know what I mean? Like we focus on what is great in our lives. Like thank God we're free. Thank God we are abundant. Thank God that we feel a sense of peace in a world that where many may not feel that. And just I feel also that we can relate to other people's pains. We can empathize with other people's pains. But if we overinvest in becoming the savior for another, because we're made to feel like that's how we help our fellow humans, right? And that comes from within us to help whoever we're called to help. I'm not saying not to. What I'm saying is sometimes we overinvest ourselves in wanting to make someone's life better because we feel bad for them. We feel bad that your life is, I see you upset, I see you sad, or I see you struggling, or I see you getting into these issues. And this is a reason, that's the reason, I see this, I see that, and you can tell them, you can try everything. And no matter what, some people just want to live the life that they're living the way that they're living it. So once you realize people just want to live in their patterns and live in their dysfunction, even in some ways, it's not even a judgment. It's, it's not easy to get out of patterns. It's not easy to I guess, I don't know, I guess to realize that it's easy to see. Something I did want to mention. Don't mind my scatterbrain right now. I noticed that a lot of people don't remember things. They don't remember, like, they can't backtrack, or they don't remember parts of their life, like very little, like, or they forget things. And I think it's sad because some people that want to like remember but are realizing that they forget things, and it has more to do with the chaos that surrounds than it does with some mental issue or like, oh my God, what if I'm not losing my mind, but some people freak out about like that they're forgetful, or because there's so much fear around infirmities and stuff. And but it's like before you can tell someone that they create their patterns, you have to get them out of all these different programs that they're already invested in, and then get through their limitations and response or reactions to the stress of going deeper. It becomes stressful, or it becomes frustrating, or it becomes irritating, or it becomes annoying, or it becomes like people become very defensive, and it's like it just feels like it's too much work. It's no, you're making me think too much, or you're making me you want me to feel things I don't really want to go into, or it's like there's a block to even have a normal conversation. Like if we could just talk about this and we can get to that root of things, this problem will never come again. and you free up so much space when you don't have certain things that unnecessarily take up your day, problems that don't need to be there. But anyway, I digress, I guess. That's all, folks. I'll leave it at that. I hope you enjoyed the message. I'll come back soon. Take care.